Good evening, everyone. Well, it looks like Justin Trudeau has lawyered up. So has his PMO, or Prime Minister's Office. And, well, the Globe and Mail is reporting on March 15th, quote, Trudeau PMO staff hired outside lawyers in case RCMP probes SNC-Lavalin affair. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and senior officials in his office have retained outside legal counsel in case of an RCMP investigation into allegations of political interference in the criminal prosecution of SNC-Lavalin Group. Mr. Trudeau's communication director, Cameron Ahmed, told the Globe and Mail on Friday that Treasury Board rules allow for hiring of outside counsel when government officials are either sued, threatened with a suit, charged with an offense, or under threat of being named in a legal action. Mr. Ahmed would not provide further details or reveal names of the law firms retained by Mr. Trudeau and staff in the Prime Minister's office, in response to a formal request last month for an RCMP investigation from Conservative leader Andrew Scheer. A senior government official who is not authorized to speak publicly about the matter said an outside law firm had been hired to represent Mr. Trudeau, and another law firm will handle staff in the Prime Minister's office. The second law firm will act on behalf of Mr. Trudeau's Chief of Staff, Katie Telford, Quebec advisor Mathieu Bouchard, and senior advisor Elder Marquez, the official said. I've scrolled down. Mr. Wernick, the country's top bureaucrat, told the House of Commons Justice Committee last week that he had, quote, retained personal counsel because of Mr. Scheer's letter to the RCMP. The RCMP has said it is reviewing Mr. Scheer's letter and added in a statement Friday that it, quote, generally does not confirm or deny if an investigation is underway unless criminal charges are laid. I scroll down further. Mary Ellen Turpel-Lafond, a former Saskatchewan judge who now teaches at the Allard School of Law at the University of British Columbia, said the government, quote, absolutely has a reason to be concerned about criminal charges, whether obstruction of justice or an attempt to obstruct justice. Apparently, Ms. Wilson-Raybould did not relent, she said in an interview, but an attempt is also an offense. She cited the testimony of Ms. Wilson-Raybould about a conversation she had with Mr. Wernick on December 19th, in which he told her the Prime Minister had no intention of relenting on the matter as evidence of an attempt to obstruct justice. When outside counsel are hired, Ms. Turpel-Lafond said, it's usually around what you do or what do you voluntarily share and what do you not share? And that's a tough line when you're the Prime Minister's office. It's not like a situation where you're raiding the Hells Angels drug house and you've got 16 lawyers fighting a warrant. You should say, please do come. While Ms. Wilson-Raybould said in a testimony at the Commons Justice Committee she did not believe a criminal offense had been committed. She's not the police, prosecution, and court. She might have got bunkered in her own role, Ms. Turpel-Lafond said. Ms. Wilson-Raybould testified the Prime Minister and his advisors raised concerns about possible job losses and political ramifications in Quebec in their conversations with her between September and December 2018. In January, Ms. Wilson-Raybould was demoted to the Minister of Veterans Affairs and replaced at Justice by Montreal MP David Lametti, who has not ruled out an out-of-court settlement for SNC-Lavalin. I scroll down again. The Globe and Mail reported on February 7th that Ms. Wilson-Raybould rejected repeated attempts by Mr. Trudeau and senior officials to settle out of court with SNC-Lavalin. Since then, she resigned from the cabinet and Mr. Butt stepped down. Cabinet Minister Jane Philpott subsequently also resigned, saying she lacked confidence in the Prime Minister for the way he's handled the matter. Ethics Commissioner Mario Dion has launched an inquiry, and the House Justice Committee held hearings in which it heard from Ms. Wilson-Raybould, Mr. Butts, and Mr. Wernick. And Mr. Dion is sick for who knows how long, but he just took an extended leave and is not expected back soon. I haven't heard anything different recently. Anyway, back to the article. On Monday, the Conservatives plan to introduce a motion in the Commons to recall Ms. Wilson-Raybould for further testimony before the Justice Committee. The Liberals-dominated committee has blocked two opposition attempts to recall Ms. Wilson-Raybould. The Justice Committee will also meet again Tuesday, the day of the federal budget, to decide whether it will call further witnesses. But Liberal MP Francois Drouin has said there is no need to hear again from Ms. Wilson-Raybould. Ms. Wilson-Raybould has said she has more to say about the matter, particularly the time period between her demotion in early January and her resignation from cabinet on February 11th. Can you believe that it's been that long? My goodness, this story has been dominating the news cycle for more than a month. Wild. Here's Candace Bergen tweeting, and she says, quote, Parliament will be voting on my motion to waive full privilege and cabinet confidence on Monday. This would allow Jody Wilson-Raybould to speak the full truth. It's simple. Voting against this motion is voting in favor of a liberal cover-up. Hashtag let her speak. And so they're looking to have Ms. Wilson-Raybould say what needs to be said on the House floor. Interesting strategy. Here's Warren Kinsella, and Mr. Kinsella is a former lawyer, and this is his website. Link is in the description. Please do visit it. And it's very interesting. I found it interesting to read through. He has helped organizations through legal or communication crises many times. And this is what he says. I can tell you that this is what the latest revelation means. And he's got a whole list. And I'm not going to go through the whole list. Please go to his website and read it. Read it for yourself, but I'll read a couple of choice ones. He says, now they can't take notes, send or receive email, etc., without disclosing them to the police, ethics commissioner, etc. They can't delete past records without attracting more legal peril. Their lawyers are telling them over and over that they should not discuss this case with anyone, including their bosses. And I'm going to scroll down here just to his conclusion. He says, none of this would have happened if any of them had paid heed to the law. For instance, using, quote, jobs as an excuse to enter into the deferred prosecution agreement is expressly prohibited in bribery cases, as this is. And Article 5 of the OECD Anti-Bribery Working Group Convention, which Canada has signed. They didn't talk to any lawyers at the start. Because of that, they're now going to be talking to lawyers all the time to, keep themselves out of jail. Because, yeah, they're in legal hot water. They're in trouble. So, very interesting times in Canadian politics. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm excited for the 19th to see if the committee will actually call back Jody Wilson-Raybould, and I'm excited for tomorrow to see what happens when the Conservatives introduce their motion. Spoiler alert, here's what I think is going to happen. It'll be voted down. And on Wednesday, or on Budget Day, starting on the 19th, I think that's Tuesday, I believe that they will have a very shiny budget, enough goodies to distract from the fact that they will not invite Ms. Wilson-Raybould back because, as Druin said, they've heard enough. They don't need any more. They've got enough division and nothing's sticking, so they're just going to march on down to an early election on the budget. That's what I've been hearing. I hope not, but hey man, we could be looking at a May vote. And I think in a May vote, Trudeau is absolutely decimated. That's what I think. Anyway, interesting to watch and see, so I'll be paying attention. Thanks for watching, everybody. Check out thepeoplespartyofcanada.ca. Have a good and wonderful Saturday night. Oh, my mouse isn't working. Oh, there it is.